I am always asked, why am I here? I am always being compared to the other Nubian leaders that take you nowhere. It's confusion. They teach illusions. It's just confusion. We have come a long way, yet we are nowhere. We have many Nubian teachers out there teaching illusions. It's all confusion. That's why I'm here.
Greetings and welcome to NABA Supreme News. My name is Anuketa Saru. Today we are coming live from Sandy Creek Park in Athens, Georgia, and we have with us the Imperial Grand Potentate himself, Dr. Malachi Z. York, the man that has made it possible for the Nubian nation to be established throughout the world. He has touched many hearts and has opened many minds to the truth. So without further ado, here's Dr. Malachi Z. York. Just a few questions.
Sure.
And first of all, to say thank you for making it possible for me to be here and to know as much as I do know at this time.
Just doing my job.
All right. I want to say congratulations on your new title as Imperial Grand Potentate. Can you tell me what it means to us as Nubian people?
I wouldn't say it means anything as to Nubian people per se, but in the Masonic world, after you finish traveling, if you can make the decision that you want to go over into the shrine and cross that desert, then you do that. If you want to stay there and climb higher and higher, then you'll take on different titles, depending on what you do for the shrine and the people. I'm more concerned with the Afro Masonic lodges and the Afro shrine, because there is a split in Freemasonry between the whites and the blacks, and they have the whites have blacks pledging to them, when in actuality the first Freemason was Nimrod, son of Cush, Ethiopian, and they should be getting their charters from us. So I'm barely here to set the record straight. And I think it's time for Freemasons, I think it's time for us to come forward, because we're getting a bad name because of things that Caucasian Masons are doing, like Albert Pike and Albert Mackey and them, with their books Moral Dogma, where they give praise to Lucifer. And now Freemasons worldwide are being thought of as satanic and all that. And I think it's time for us to step up and let people know what we're allowed to let them know about our fraternity, right? But to set the record straight. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, fine. Thank you. How do you think the rest of the world views us with your new title as well?
Well, I think that, first of all, it smashes the cult concept. As Freemasons and Shriners, we were trying not to make that public. But because we kept getting slapped in the face with cult this, cult that, then we had to say, as you can see, this says Nubian Grand Lodge. It's not just a chapter, it's a Grand Lodge. And we have a Supreme Council of nine members of Ansar Allah and Al-Mahdi Temple, right? And our temples are going to spread across the country. And so it's now, in other words, time for us to come forward and let people know that the slander that they keep saying that the cult this and cult that, unless all Freemasons worldwide are a cult, then we're not a cult. You follow? Simple.
Can you tell me what's the difference between a Grand Lodge and a chapter?
Yeah, a Grand Lodge is more like saying a Mother or Father Lodge. And beneath it, you can have different chapters or different, they have numbers, literally. You know what I'm saying? And these numbers will designate have a name over it, like the Amos Lodge in Macon, Georgia, or the Enoch Lodge in New York, or the King Solomon Lodge, etc. But they'll have a Grand Lodge above that, which issues charters to subsidiaries.
Black people seem a bit concerned about the election of President Bush. And how do you think this will affect black people in general?
Frankly speaking, I think President Bush is a good president. I'm not saying that I didn't like Clinton. I like Clinton because he was a black president, not the first, but one of the first black presidents. But I like the way Bush deals. I've always been a Republican, and that's difficult when I socialize with most Democrats. You follow? And so I think what President Bush is doing, the way he's handling himself, and the way he's even dealing with foreign affairs. I don't know about the economics yet, because it's taking a little time for us to get adjusted to the seats. But I think he's a good president. I think he's going to prove himself to be a good president.
So we don't really have much to worry about.
No, we don't have nothing to worry about regardless of who's in office, because a bird with a right wing or left wing is still on the same bird. So we ain't gonna, until we are in, we're not in. If all racism is going on, you see what's going on in Cincinnati?
Absolutely.
It's going to continue.
That was my next question, actually. What's happening in Cincinnati? Do you think the racist behavior of the people in Putnam County, Howard Sills and all his cahoots, do you think that kind of thing could erupt in Eatonton?
Yeah, I do think it can erupt in Eatonton. I think Howard Sills would like that because he's a nobody. He's on his way out. And he knows that. He'd like to make sure that everything is destroyed when he falls. You follow? And I think his tactic is, he has a very unique tactic. He's scared. So what he does is he keeps mentioning my name, or he keeps mentioning the Nuwaubians every place he goes. So in case something happens to him, he'll have somebody to blame it on. But what I see in Cincinnati is a statement that we're getting tired of it. We're getting fed up with it. And my philosophy is an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth. I'm not into that turn the other cheek. I may be a Christian, but I don't believe in turning the other cheek. I think it's just a matter of time before people get the courage to start striking back. And there's only two ways to hurt people to hurt you. Hurt them in the pocket and hurt them in the heart. You follow? And this is what they try to do to us. They physically harassed us and they hurt us economically. And I think the only way for us to deal with them is to respond in the same way. But that's the only thing they don't understand. They don't understand nothing until you start hurting them. As long as they're hurting little black kids and shooting little black people, it's going to go on forever. The moment it turned around, the moment in Cincinnati somebody shot at one of them officers, the next thing you had was the National Guard in there and curfew. See, they don't mind hurting you, but they don't want you hurting them. And I think it's time for black people to start realizing that when they hurt you, hurt them back. Stop looking for all this, marching and civil rights and turning the other cheek, because they don't feel that way. You know what I'm saying? They'll continue to press on you until you backed in the corner and you leach out and hurt one of them. And that's when they'll start leaving you alone.
Right. But how are we going to hurt them economically, being a disenfranchised people without very much money on the whole?
You know what? If the black people ever figured out or sat down and calculated how much money they make, they would be the third richest nation in the world. Black people in the Western Hemisphere make more money than most foreign countries. You make more money than France as a whole country, blacks alone. They just don't know the power they have. And the way to hit them is stop working for them and start working for self and kind. Start doing things, start building business from the inside out. Stop giving yourself to them as slaves and then expecting them to treat you other than a slave. If you want to be treated like a slave, keep working for them. As long as you work for them, you're still a slave. All you got to look at the book of Revelations in an 18th chapter, it tell you that they want the slaves and the souls of men, and they rule them by a form of sorcery. You follow the 24th verse.
Okay, fine. So how do we overcome this distrust, which is something that seems to keep us back?
Distrust between each other?
Yes, yes.
That's something they've done to us. In other words, when they give you a Caucasian Jesus, and this is a very interesting day because today is Easter, and on BBC television today at Channel 8, scientists have proven that Jesus was a black man. They're going to show the face today. And I want to know, is he still going to be, oh yeah, it's a fact. You don't know this going on? No. Oh, this is going on, it's all over the computers, go in there. And I want to know, is he still going to be the Son of God once it comes out, the reality is a black man with woolly hair. That is no longer some suggestion, it's no longer racialism, it's now genome fact. You know what I'm saying? So I think that we're in that day and time where they're going to have to come to the realization of who we really are and what we are to them, because it says, honor thy mother and father, that your days may be long on this planet. We are the mothers and fathers of all other races on this planet, and the reason why their kids are killing each other and their world is crumbling is because they have no honor for their mothers and their fathers, the black race. You follow?
That's right. Thank you. I wanted to find out, is it true that the Nuwaubians now have our own hospital?
That's very true. We have our own hospital, and we're opening, and we're only talking about Georgia. Okay. But the Nuwaubians are moving in London, moving in Puerto Rico, they're moving all over, the Caribbean. We're moving all over. Nothing holds us back. We are the rapture. That's what they don't understand. They're looking for some rapture. They're looking for some Caucasian guy to come out of the sky with blonde hair and pull people up. No, the rapture is going to be a certain consciousness. The rapture is people becoming Christ-like. We're becoming Christ-like. We're now the lamb sent amongst the wolves with a message that shakes people up. You follow? So that hospital is just the beginning of where we're going. You follow? We'll also have many more things.
Right. And a lot of that is due to your guidance and example for not giving up on us during all these years. I mean, so many people have come and go since I've been in this knowledge, and you're still here, strong. What keeps you going?
Somebody got to do it, like in everything else. Somebody got to do it. There's got to be some people that stand up for what's right and are willing to kill and die for it, not just die for it. You follow? And I mean that from the bottom of my heart. We have to make up our mind that this is a struggle and it's never going to end if we don't just take advantage of what's out there. I think it's called OPP.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Malachi Z. York. Just one more thing. Do you have any message for us as a people at this time for the people in Atlanta in general?
I think people need to look around and see situations like in China, where the eagle had to bow to the dragon. I think they need to look around and see the world, the diseases. I think they need to look around and see the climate, the economics, and see that it's truly our time. It's time for us to step in, because the people that are presently ruling don't know what they're doing. They've lost control. They're out of their minds. They're what do you call it? They're out of control, literally. And I think it's time for us as a people to take that range, because we're in a cart and they're sitting at the range, and we're seeing that they are deranged, but we're still letting them drive us along. It's time for us to break away from them and do for self and kind. Learn to live for, of, and by each other. That's all. It may be hard at first, but we can pull it off.
I believe you. Or I know. Okay.
400 years it is, right?
Yeah, that's right. Thank you so much, and we've really enjoyed this second picnic at Sandy Creek Park. Thank you, Dr. Malachi Ziyoko.